Good morning, America. Today is Monday, July the 2nd. It is 10:52. We're going to do Psalms 35 today. It is a 28-verse song written by King David. The psalmist prays for God to deliver him from his enemies. Deliver him from enemies, a psalm of King David. We have orange for your faith, black for sin, green for love, and several verses of pink for witnessing. And those are the colors that we will find in these 28 verses of this beautiful song. And as always, we will be reading it both from the Rainbow Color Bible and from the Parallel Bible. Alright, so let's begin. Verses 1 to 6 is orange for your faith, and it says, Plead my case, O Lord, with them that strive with me. Fight against them that fight against me. Amen. 2. Take hold of shield and buckler and stand up for my help. Amen. 3. Draw out also the spear and stop the way against them that persecute me. Say unto my soul, I am thy salvation. 4. Let them be confounded and be put to shame that seek after my soul. Let them be turned back and brought to confusion that devise my hurt. Amen. 5. Let them be as chaff before the wind, and let the angel of the Lord chase them. Amen. 6. Let their way be dark and slippery, and let the angel of the Lord persecute them. Let's take it from here, 1 to 6. Content, O Lord, with those who contend with me. Fight against those who fight against me. 2. Take up shield and buckler. Arise and come to my aid. 3. Brandish spears and javelin against those who persecute me. Say to my soul, I am your salvation. And you know, a javelin is a spear is very long. A javelin is a spear, but very, very small. A javelin is that which King Saul had tossed at David while he was playing the instrument to soften his mood, because the king was in a terrible mood, and the music from David playing the instrument soothed his spirit, but he was not soothed in this particular day. He took a javelin and tossed it aimed it at David, and from that day on, David seemed to stay out of the sight of the king. Okay, so we know that a javelin is a very tiny, small spear. Brandish spear and javelin against those who pursue me. Say to my soul, I am your salvation. 4. May those who seek my life be disgraced and put to shame. May those who plot my ruin be turned back in dismay. 5. May they be like chaff before the wind, with the angels of the Lord driving them away. 6. May their path be dark and slippery, with the angel of the Lord pursuing them. 7. It's our first black verse, and it says, For without cause they hid for me their net in a pit, which without cause they have dug for my soul. So it's a color change. We will take it from here. Since they hid their net for me without cause, and without cause dug a pit for me. And today, people will not like you without cause. People will attack you without provocation. Okay? So in the same way that he had that same issue, we have the same issue today without cause. People will put you in your coffin without cause. 8. Let destruction come upon him at unaware, and let his net that he has hid catch himself, and into that very destruction let him fall. So whatever net you dig for someone else, you yourself will fall into that net. This is what the king is asking God to do. Whatever net they set for me, let them fall in it. In the same way that Haman created a guillotine for Mordecai, especially for Mordecai. But who ended up using that gelatin? He did. His head. He built that thing for someone else, but it was his head that was the first one to use it. All right, so mark your words. And don't go around digging pitches for someone else, because who will fall in it? You will. Okay, so 8, let's read it from here. May ruin overtake them by surprise. Suddenly things happen to you. It's one thing when you're talking about someone and they do not belong to the Lord. No harm will come to you. But when you're talking about someone and they are among the Lord's favorites, much will happen to you suddenly. Okay? So those mean words and slander, keep it to yourself. You'll be doing yourself a favor. Don't end up like Roseanne Barr. All right. 9 and 10 is green for love. And my soul will be joyful in the Lord. It shall rejoice in his salvation all the time. All the time. When the Lord rescues us. When the Lord troubles our enemies. All the time we praise him. All the time. Okay? 10. All my bones shall say, Lord, who is like unto thee, which delivereth the poor from him that is too strong for him, yea, the poor and the needy from him that spoileth him. 9 and 10 from here. Then my soul will rejoice in the Lord, and delight in his salvation. 10. My whole being will be exclaimed, who is like you, O Lord? You rescue the poor from those too strong for them, the poor and the needy from those who rob them. And who robs the poor more than the one who comes through the window? The servants of the world rob the poor constantly, legally robbing the poor. Okay, asking you for tithes and offerings and making you promises that you cannot fulfill. 11 and 12 is black for sin again. False witnesses shall rise up, and they lay to my charge things that I know not. So they were saying things about him that he did not do. Okay, 12, they rewarded me evil for good, to the spoiling of my soul. 11 and 12. Ruthless witnesses come forward. They question me on things I know nothing about. 12. They repay me evil for good and leave my soul forlorn. Okay. 13 is back to orange for your faith. But as for me, when they were sick, my clothing was sackcloth. I humble my soul with fasting, and my prayer returneth unto me, unto my own bosom. But as for me, when they were sick, my clothes were sackcloth. I humble my soul with fasting, and my prayer returneth unto my own bosom. 13 from here. Yet when they were ill, I put on sackcloth and humble myself with fasting, when my prayers returned to me unanswered. 14 is back to green for love. I behave myself as though he had been my friend or brother. I bow down heavily as one that mourned for his mother. 14. I went about moaning as though for my friend or brother. I bowed my head in grief as though weeping for my mother. 15 black again. But in my adversity they rejoiced. When trouble came his way, they were glad and gathered themselves together. Yea, the objects gathered themselves together against me, and I knew it not. They did tear me and ceased not. 16. The hypocritical mockers in feast, they garnished upon me with their teeth. 15 and 16. But when I stumbled, they gathered in glim. Attackers gathered against me when I was unaware. They slander me without ceasing. 16. Like the ungodly, they maliciously mocked. They garnished their teeth at me. 17. Back to Orange for your faith. Lord, how long wilt thou look on? Rescue my soul from their destruction, my darling from their eyes. 17. Oh Lord, how long will you look on? Rescue my life from their ravage, my precious life from these lions. Sometimes people can act like the beast. Sometimes people can act like monsters. This is why I always warn you about the company that you keep. Okay? 18. I will give thanks in the great congregation. I will praise thee among much people. 18. I will give you thanks in the great assembly. Among thrones of people I will praise you. Amen. 19. Back to Orange for your faith. Let not them that are my enemies wrongfully rejoice over me, neither let them wink with the eye that hate me without a cause. 19. Let not those gloat over me who are my enemies without cause. Let not those who hate me without reason maliciously wink the eye. 20 and 21, back to black for sin. For they speak not peace, but they devise deceitful matters against them that are quiet in the land. Yea, they open their mouth wide against me and say, Aha, aha, our eyes has seen it. 20 and 21. They do not speak peaceably, but devise false accusations against those who live quietly in the land. 21. They gap at me and say, Aha, aha, with our own eyes we have seen it. 22 to 27 is Orange for your faith, and I will just read it straight away. 22. This thou hast seen, O Lord. Keep not silent, O Lord. Be not far from me. 23. Stir up thyself and awake to my judgment, even unto my cause, my God and my Lord. 24. Judge me, O Lord my God, according to thy righteousness, and let them not rejoice over me. Amen. 25. Let them not say in their hearts, so would we have it. Let them not say, we have swallowed him up. 26. Let them be ashamed and brought to confusion together that rejoice at my hurt. Let them be clothed with shame and dishonor that magnify themselves against me. 28. Let them shout for joy and be glad that favor my righteous cause. Yet let them say continuously, let the Lord be magnified, which has pleasure in the prosperity of his servant. 22 to 27. O Lord, you have seen this. Be not silent. Do not be far from me, O Lord. 23. Awake and rise to my defense. Contend for me, my God and Lord. 24. Vindicate me in your righteousness, O Lord, my God. Do not let them gloat over me. 25. Do not let them think, just what we wanted, or say, we have swallowed him up. 26. May all who gloat over my distress be put to shame and confusion. May all who exalt themselves over me be clothed with shame and disgrace. 27. May those who delight in my vindication shout for joy and gladness. May they also say, the Lord be exalted, who delighteth in the well-being of his servant. Amen. 28, it ends off with pink for witnessing. And it says, and my tongue shall speak of thy righteousness and of thy praise all the day long. 28, here, my tongue will speak of your righteousness and of your praises all day long. Thank you very much for listening to us here at Spiritual Water. And as always, may the peace of God be upon you. May the protection of God preserve you. And may the will of God be manifested through you. Thank you. My name is Brenda Guerrero. And as always, have a very pleasant day.